Hey everyone, I'm Kenji López-Alt. I'm here with Ray Delahanty, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. I've been watching you for a long time on your YouTube channel, City Nerd, an urbanism channel, one of the best channels on YouTube. And we're here at Pike Place Market, which has recently become car-free.
Somewhat. I would. This is car free as I would like it, but it's made some improvements.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Seattle You grew up in Seattle. Mm-hmm. I moved to Seattle in 2020. I visited here a bunch before, but my memory of cars in Pike Place is that obviously every time you used to go down there, you would see cars, and they're kind of trying to weave their way through the pedestrians who feel like they should naturally be there because there's stuff to do on one side of the market, there's stuff to do on the other side.
The sidewalks are super narrow.
Yeah,
right,
and then there's this
Place.
big street running in the middle of them, like a big brick street that's not even great for cars anyway.
No. Yeah, it's one of those things where like my memories of Pike Place itself are of a bunch of cars angle parked along the street, right? And then a bunch of cars crawling through looking for parking spots that don't exist because there's not anywhere near enough parking anyway. Like all the parking is in a parking garage that's like a block away, and so you kind of creep down Pike Place on your way to the parking garage hoping that there's a parking space there. It's like the most inefficient thing possible.
Well, it's crazy because it's all, I mean, this whole area is so walkable anyway. Like the entire Pike Place and everything like within like a couple block radius of it is just pure walking.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't always this way, right? I mean, this is relatively new, this plaza right here on Pike, right? For a while, I think it was a transit mall for a bit, and before that, it was just a regular street, and you would just go straight through down Pike onto Pike Place. Seattle's idea of what a good downtown street looks like has evolved over the last, 20, 30 years, I think. And Pike Place itself maybe hasn't evolved the same way, which is kind of insane because what draws more pedestrians than the market?
Well, I mean, what I like about Pike Place is that it's in other cities I've lived in, sort of the equivalent of Pike Place, like maybe, like the big tourist destination, like the big tourist market, like maybe like Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco where I lived for a while. It's almost 100% tourists that go there.
Right.
Whereas Pike Place is like a real working market that obviously gets a lot of tourists, but it's also like one of the best places to go for fresh seafood, one of the best places to go for fresh produce, amazing restaurant. We can dig into some of this in a second, but it's like the best place to go for really great flowers that are inexpensive. It's just like a everyday year-round farmers market.
Yeah.
Where it feels real different from most other sort of like tourist hubs in other cities I've been to.
Yeah, because it is a mix. Like if you go to, I don't know, all due respect to San Francisco, but if you go to like Fisherman's Wharf, there are a lot of chain establishments there, right? And you don't have that. I mean, there's a Starbucks here, but it's Starbucks number one, right? It's the original.
I think it's actually Starbucks number two,
is
right?
It?
I'm pretty sure it's like secretly Starbucks number two, and they just call it the original.
Okay, I don't know. It's been there for an extremely long time. I like Sur La Table is here, and I think that's like the first one of those. There are more of those now. So there are establishments here that you will see somewhere else, but usually the location that's at Pike Place Market is the first one that existed, and that's why it's still here. Do we want to talk about what food we have in front of us?
Oh yeah. All right. So we got pasta casalinga. So these are tamales from maize, which I think they opened like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But they make tamales and tacos and whatever. But they also they nixtamalize and mill their own masa.
Awesome.
And so they're really sort of like they're like a corn restaurant, and everything is kind of based around that corn.
Yeah.
So the salmon is from Market Grill. The lamb bun is from Land of Origins. I actually haven't been to either of these spots before. I mean, which is also, I think, I've lived here for 5 years. I come down here all the time. There's just like such a huge variety of stuff. What are some other cities you know of that have decarred areas? Like, what do you expect to happen from what's going on here right now?
All the best examples are like if I go overseas. I don't know, like a lot of European cities, like Amsterdam used to have cars everywhere, right? They retrofitted everything. That's the most obvious example. But even cities like Madrid, like the center of the city a lot of it has been pedestrianized. Brussels, Belgium used to be extremely car oriented. That's changed radically in the last 15 years or so. So like they're kind of easy overseas examples. The examples in the US are a little tougher. You almost have to start a flywheel spinning, right? It's like we're gonna create a network that people can use, and then people will start using it and demanding more. So there's kind of like a virtuous cycle that happens with that kind of thing. This kind of goes back to Pike Place though, a little bit. Like people have a preconceived notion of what's required to make a commercial area successful. It's like you have to have vehicle access. People have to be able to drive right up to the front door and get out and go in and shop and come back and drive again. There are examples all over, European cities, or not even just European cities, in cities all over the world. But then even like New York, there are like examples of just thriving business districts where there's very little available public parking. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do you hope? Like, what do you hope to see from the pedestrianization, and like what do you think what do you think we have to do to make sure that it stays this way? Assuming that it all goes well and it is better this way, I can't imagine any way it would be worse. But
I know. I can't imagine. I mean, the data I've seen shows that like sales are up, foot traffic's up, sales are up. I don't know. It's hard for me to put myself in the shoes of like a small business owner, right? But most of these are small business owners. They're businesses that they have a hard job, but there's not that much turnover in the market, right? They do pretty well. So I think there's a natural resistance to change. Like if most of the businesses that are there are businesses that have been going for like 10, 20, 30, 40 years, it's like why do they want anything to change?
Right. They understand their business model. It's like, I know the Socio's produce in there, which I go to frequently. That's like one of the best produce shops in Seattle. They do seasonal stuff and specialty ingredients. But yeah, I know that they were real concerned about. Yeah, well, we got customers who come in cars. Yeah. Like how are they going to get to us now?
Right.
And you have a model that's working.
Yeah.
You might get upset when something threatens to change that model.
Yeah, I always compare this to. So they implemented congestion pricing in New York City in January of this year. So it's been going for 6-7 months, and that was in the planning and study stage for decades. And one of the things you would keep hearing is like anecdotes about people who have to drive, or people whose businesses depend on drivers. You'll always get like anecdotal information. But I think if you look at the broader data, making it more pleasant for people to come and walk and take care of their errands leads to a lot more business coming through your front door. Yeah. So what I would hope is, if they want to make this permanent, I mean, just about any European city you go to that has like pedestrian streets, they'll have like retractable bollards, bollards that block vehicles. And so like a authorized delivery vehicle will have like a key card or a license plate reader or something that says, oh yeah, you can come through here. It'll retract the bollard, they can drive in, make their delivery. That would be, I think, probably the ideal solution for Pike Place in the long term.
I have a family, so often when I come here, I'll take my 2 kids, sometimes a dog as well, on a cargo e-bike. But I've also been here with more people and driven in and parked a couple blocks away. There is access both for cars and bikes and obviously pedestrians here. How do you think this, closing the street, how will it fundamentally sort of change things both for people who are coming in here with cars for whatever reason, whether they're buying something bigger or they're with a bunch of people or they're coming from far away, versus the pedestrians and other people who are coming here.
I'd be interested in looking at the data, like of all the parking that's available, I don't know, kind of within the footprint of the market itself, like what percentage of that consisted of like angle parking along Pike Place? Like 1%? I don't know.
How many spots? Do you know how many spots?
I don't know. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 block faces, but not even the whole block face, because a lot of it's like loading and unloading zone.
Yeah.
Like there's just not that much of it that was available for public parking.
So like under 100 spots
First
probably,
place.
or I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if like, I don't know, people drive through just because they like driving through and looking at the scene.
And looking at the scene, yeah.
Yeah, and why would we prioritize that over people actually being able to walk through the market? Because if that street isn't open for pedestrians, like those are narrow sidewalks along Pike Place. You're trying to jam everybody onto
narrow sidewalks that are often full of people waiting on the line for one of those.
Yeah, for the original Starbucks. Not the original Starbucks, apparently. Starbucks number 2.
But I feel, Seattle, there's just like, all of a sudden it just feels like it's darkness, it's dark and damp.
It happens quick.
Yeah, really quick, like surprisingly quick.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to affect how people use this space? Like, do you think it's going to be as effective in the winter as it is in the summer?
Yeah, I will often, just because I have family up here, I'll often come up to Seattle during the holidays, either Thanksgiving or Christmas time. And those are busy times for the market because there are a lot of out of towners who come in, and there's a lot of shopping that happens around the holiday season. So, Pike Place Market is not just busy in the summer months when school's out. It also gets busy during winter break and especially on the holidays.
Well, what about street use? Do you think though, like when?
I don't know. I mean. There's no doubt there'll still be plenty of pedestrian demand to actually use Pike Place as an area to walk and access the market and the businesses and like the sanitary market and the economy market. And I think you could still have pretty successful, I definitely saw people eating outdoors. Like you grab food from one of the stands along Pike Place and I see lots of people standing and eating out in the cold. Like it doesn't get that cold here. It's not Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's not Chicago. So having outdoor spaces for people to eat and socialize can still be pretty successful. Now it does rain here, but I've always felt like that's a little overrated. Like particularly at the onset of COVID, when a lot of cities started putting in their street seating programs at restaurants. Changing out parallel parking spots for
parklets.
Parklets and seating areas for restaurants. And in a lot of cases, and those are very successful in New York too. It gets cold in New York. Mm-hmm. It's been known to rain in New York. There are different ways of doing that. You can have covered areas. You can use heaters.
Lamps.
You can use heat lamps. So there are different ways of handling that. Even now, Pike Place Market has a reputation for being like touristy, but it's not because of like the collection of shops and retailers and food establishments they have, because they really aren't. It's touristy because it is deservedly so. In my opinion, there's a reason people want to come down here.
Yeah, no, it's touristy, but it's also local. Like the shop owners like remember you. It's like mm-hmm. It feels. I mean, all of Seattle to me feels like a small town. It's like one of the reasons I love it here is that like every neighborhood still feels like a small community.
Yeah.
Even Pike Place, which is like the most touristy market in Seattle. One of the most touristy markets in the country. It still feels like really like a local place.
Yeah, and it's a credit to the businesses that are here and the Pike Place PDA. I mean, they manage it very conscientiously to produce the kind of experience that people come here for and kind of maintain the consistency of it. I guess that kind of goes back to the change averseness that they have. It's like they feel like they found a model that's successful for the effects that they want to create, and so there's a lot of resistance to changing any one variable of it. So my hope is as the data comes in and they really think about what makes it a better experience for the people who are coming to visit or for the locals.
Right.
I think, I would hope that what they see in the data is that
this is all positive.
Yeah, limiting vehicle access and letting it be a place for people is really what they want to do. And I hope, during this pilot that if there are people who haven't come down and experienced what it's like right now. This weekend is the first time I've been down since they started the pilot project, and people should really come down and see what it's all about and think about maybe what their previous experiences at Pike Place Market are, and like how likely they are to come back, and how frequently they might come here if they feel like they're kind of respected as pedestrians and not forced to get out of the way every time somebody wants to just kind of drive through the market gawking at things.
Right. Pike Place, aside from being like home to, artists and weird shops, it is one of the best places to go shopping for food in the city. Whether it's like fresh food, so there's a couple of amazing produce markets down there. I tend to go to Socios, but there's a couple of other great markets down there that, they got like farmers market quality stuff coming locally, and a bunch of specialty things. And then there's obviously like the best seafood you can get. You can find it in Pike Place also, and it's surprisingly not at like crazy tourist prices. It's just like shopping in like an all-day farmers market, which to me is incredible. And aside from that, you get like fresh masa from Maiz, you get handmade pasta from Casalinga, these tiny donuts. I think it's, what do they call it, the Seattle Donut Company or something, but they fry them fresh to order.
Yep.
It's just incredible what food. The best sushi place is in Post Alley Kashiba. Like if you talk to any sushi or sashimi chef in Seattle, like the majority of them have worked for Kashiba at some point in their career. He's like the
That's
OG
awesome.
Seattle sushi guy. The best pizza is at Post Alley Pizza. There's just like all kinds of cool stuff down here. I hope the pedestrian program is a success.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Seems like it. I don't know, like just as someone experiencing it for myself, it's vastly preferable to me. So
Yeah. Well, if you're enjoying the new pedestrian program at Pike Place Market at the pilot, you can go to seattlegreenways.org/Pike Place and let your voice be heard. It'll get to your representative. It'll get to the people who care about this. For me, it's important as to build a sense of community, to make traveling around the city better. Pike Place is just such a Seattle landmark that is so vastly improved by having more people being able to enjoy it on foot, I think.
yeah, I would say also if you come down, let the vendors know how much you appreciate the program as well, because they don't always know unless they hear from you.
Yeah, and they're all like small businesses. Yeah, there's no big chains down there.
Right.
Yeah, if you're buying the strawberries from the guy, it's probably the owner of the shop,
Right.
or at least someone closely related to them.
Yeah.